In a world currently 1 degree Celsius warmer than pre-industrial times, the fingerprints of climate change and its human impact are becoming increasingly apparent, and not just in the developing world. The worst wildfires in California's history last month led to multiple deaths and extraordinary destruction.
We had tremendous demonic winds, is the only way I can put it.
It's like our lives are gone. You know, our lives, everything we have is gone now.
More and bigger wildfires are predicted around the world as temperatures increase. Right now in Afghanistan, drought is tightening its stranglehold. Thousands of families have lost everything. There are reports of children being sold off to pay off debt or buy food. Across the world, drought will worsen with increasing famine as heat waves strengthen. Warming seas have led to more ferocious hurricanes and cyclones forming over the world's oceans, and when they hit land, from Florida to the Philippines, the effects are catastrophic, especially as rising sea levels mean even more destructive storm surges. Ice sheets are retreating, ecosystems are under pressure. And all the while, greenhouse gas emissions have reached record levels, at a time when scientists say they need to be radically reducing.
For all these impacts, they will increase as we go to 1.5 degrees and further increase for 2 degrees. So what 1.5 degrees allows us is to keep the rate of change at a level that makes these impacts more manageable for societies.
This year's devastation in the United States comes as a US government report projects losses to the US economy in future decades of hundreds of billions of dollars every year. One man, though, disagrees.
I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it.
Believe it or not, the science says this is no time for inaction.
Failure to act means more disasters and emergencies and air pollution that could cost the global economy as much as $21 trillion by 2050.
Since those euphoric scenes in Paris 3 years ago, there's been plenty of backsliding on national promises to reduce CO2 emissions. There is now a tremendous gap between what's required and what's being done, and experts say that path leads to widespread poverty and global insecurity. The gap needs to close in Poland over the next fortnight. Now, the UN report warns we'll pass a temperature rise of 1.5 degrees Celsius within 12 years unless countries slash their emissions by 5 times their planned amount. And that will impact hundreds of millions of people on every continent on the globe, exacerbating the risk of drought, floods, extreme heat and poverty. Those who know the science, they say the urgency of this climate conference in Poland cannot be overstated.